Greetings everyone. So today I want to talk about the fact that I have to mount a front plate to my Tesla. All right. Now I live in a state that requires front and back plate. That's just the way it is. But if you look at my Tesla now, it doesn't have the mounts that's already pre-installed for front plate. So Tesla does provide this right here, a kind that you just stick onto the front of the vehicle. So you peel off the strips, stick it right here, and that's how you mount your plate. But I don't want to use any stick-on thing. That's probably fine. It probably works. But I just want to have the option to, if I move to another state, I can take this back off because I don't need it anymore, right? And I know if I stick it on there, it probably work. It's probably reliable. I don't think it's going to fall off because I'm pretty sure Tesla already tested to make sure it doesn't fall off over time. But I might not need this anymore. And I don't want an empty plate mount on front in a state that I don't need it for anymore. So I decided to look for something like this, right? This mounts on the grill. So since it mounts on the grill, it's removable. I can take it off at any time. It's easy to mount, and also it has a security feature to prevent anybody from just snapping it off. All right, so they put a little extra feature in there, which is great because anybody can just come and take this off because they want to mount it on their vehicle. You know, this is something you have to pay extra. This comes with your Tesla. This is extra. All right, so that's what I'm gonna put on my vehicle. But the cool thing about this one is it is height adjustable. So you can mount it at different heights. Doesn't say it on the box, but you can adjust it different heights. So right here, right now, is mounted and adjusted for the highest height. So it will sit up higher, like up here. If you want it to where the plates is more like in the middle where the grill areas, you just need to take these screws out and adjust it down. All right. And if you want it at the lowest setting where it's sitting probably a little bit below the front bumper area right here, which I wouldn't recommend. You want it to be somewhere here or a little higher because further down it might hit something depending on what's in the road. But you would put the two screws that's missing on top here all the way down and put them here. And it will be at the lowest settings. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend that. I'm thinking somewhere around here or a little bit higher. All right, so there you go. So with that being the case, you know, it gives you that flexibility. So you can adjust it and have it where you want to. Now this is made out of metal, so you can know that's reliable. I don't think it's gonna rust. I think they put a special coating on it to prevent rusting. This is plastic, this is metal. So when you mount your screws on there, it's gonna stick in there and not go anywhere. You know what I mean? They're not gonna just fall off. And I don't think it's gonna strip the screws or anything like that. But you don't wanna over tight it anyway. So that's what I'm gonna do with this right here. So I'm getting ready to put it on front and you'll see what it looks like when I'm done. So this is what it looks like when you take it out the package. All right, you got the plate mount. This is what you mount your plate to. Comes with a little Allen screws and set. So you got screws and the Allen wrench inside here. And then you got an actual mount that you mount to the grill. Here it is right here. This is what it looks like. So to mount this, you see this little groove right here in the middle? You have to find a spot right here between these grills right here, this little centerpiece. This is what you're gonna line it up because that's the centermost of the vehicle right there in front. You got one over here, you got one over here, one over here, and one over here. But this one is in the direct center. So this part would just go right into the groove, just like that. And you push this little tab down until you hear it snap like that. And it's that easy. So from this point, you take this out, this part, make sure you face it this way. There's a groove inside and there's a smooth side. So the groove side that's embedded like that, that's the part you want to have in front. And then you take it over here and you adjust it to the height that you want. Like I said, I want mine to be about that point right there, right above like the little lip, edge lip right here is where I want my actual plate to be displayed. So that means I got to mount the screws right about here on top, and that will keep it in the area that I would like my plates to be displayed. If you put it higher, like I said, that's where it goes. Put it lower, that's where it goes. So that's how it looks, depending on how you want it to be. Like I said, that's my little perfect ideal spot right there. So now I'm just going to mount the screws there, and then you'll see what it looks like. Okay, so to shed some light on the subject, so you can see the Allen screw that I'm talking about that locks it in place. Just ignore the dirt. It's been raining a lot lately. But in the package, you have two sets of Allen wrench. You have a small one, and I would say big one, if you want to just say compare size. You want to grab the smallest one, all right? But there's even one smaller. So there's different size. So you want to just test it to make sure you have the right one, and then you want to tighten this screw right here. Just turn it, and once it gets to a point where you can't turn it anymore, then you stop, because that's what's going to lock it in place. So now this lever won't move unless you loosen the screw back up again. This prevents any person from just coming and just taking off your mount. So that's the cool thing about it. Now, right now, I'm just gonna adjust where I want this plate to be mounted at, this plate, and then I'll come back and show you the end result. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. I haven't fully tightened it yet, but you can see that in the middle bar area is where you can do the adjustment. If you mount it on top, then there's no adjustment there, because it's just gonna sit there if that's where you want to mount the screws. And if you put it down at the bottom, it's the same procedure. You can't really make any fully adjustment. But if you want to make the adjustment, you want to put it in the center bar area. You just got to make sure it's tight enough. But since I'm flushing it with the top, I don't have to worry about trying to level it to make sure it's straight. I'm just going to mount it just like that right there. So right now I have the two screws in. It's flushed all the way down. So it's a matter of tightening up these screws on this side and then putting two more screws right here to fully secure it. And you can't go wrong, because the screws only go in one spot. Like I said, this right here is the black screws, and they fit where it needs to go. All right. There's other screws in the package, but these are more like for mounting the plate. Then you have some washers and some nuts and all that different stuff. There's three kind of Allen wrench. There's more like a big, a medium, and a small. Okay, so now that I have it fully mounted, I've put two set of screws on each side. I'm not sure if it's necessary since I already mounted flush to the top right here, but just for that extra security, I say, you know what, let me go in and put the two at the bottom, because it does have two holes inside the side mount that mounts through the plate. All right. And like I said, this is metal. This is plastic. I think this is hard plastic, or it might be metal, but this is definitely metal right here. You can hear it. So this is where my plate is going to go right now. I'm not going to put it on right now because I'll do it after the video. But there's holes for the plate. All right. So now that this is complete, it's fully secure. You can feel it. And the fact that they made it where it's foolproof, because you can't like put it in the wrong spot. You know what I mean? It has that little groove on it to make you put it right and center with the front of the vehicle. So right with the T and everything else going down, you can know that your plate is right in the middle, all because of that center guide that I showed you earlier on this mount right here. All right. So there you go. That's the thing I wanted to advertise. It's called Test Frame. I will put a link in the description if you're interested in getting a front plate mount for your Tesla, if you don't already have one already. But this is awesome because, like I said, it's height adjustable. Some of them are not. Some of them just come the way they are. And with the stick mount, where is that? Let me find it. Oh, there it is. With this, your only option is right here. There's no other way to move it up and down with this, because it just fits right on the front of the vehicle right there, and there's no other way to adjust it. But this option gives you that flexibility. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. I want to thank you for taking the time watching. I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions or comment, leave it down below. All right. Any other tips that I have coming along the way, subscribe. I can share them with you. So if you're going into electric, you know what I mean? This channel is labeled Going All Electric just to help out other people that's going electric too, and what you can do as far as making that transition, because it is a major transition and it's a mindset that you have to get used to. So I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. So have a good one and I'll see you next time.